was working with a financial services firm, and it turned out that there were a group of employees who were still holding on to the past. They were resenting the fact that the compensation had changed. They were resenting the fact that the way the management of the firm was running the firm had changed, and they'd been holding on to the resentment for 2 or 3 years. When I met with the CEO, he really believed in loyalty, and he didn't want to discourage anybody, and he'd been trying to encourage these people to step forward. They lacked the courage to let go. They lacked the courage to let go of what was, to be able to embrace what was in the moment. And so as I talked to him, I said, let me help you with an image. You have a communal pool from which you draw the water that everyone drinks. And yet these people every day come in bitter, angry, frustrated. They're non-cooperative. They're not willing to step forward. They resist change. In essence, they're relieving themselves in the very water out of which everyone else is drinking. Is that fair to the organization? He said, well, that's a pretty graphic image. I said, well, that's what's actually happening. So I'd give you another image. You talk about everybody being on the bus and moving in the same direction. These people not only are not on the bus, they're letting the air out of the tires. So he said, what do I need to do? I said, you need to invite people to step forward. And so one of the images we used as we sat down with all the employees to talk about where the organization was were from the movie The Lion King, where the great philosopher, the warthog Pumbaa, talks about putting our behinds in the past. Because when we don't let go of the past, it's like we're leading with our rear ends into the world, which is not necessarily presenting our best side, nor is it our most effective way of being. The CEO was very clear. I want everyone in this room to be able to move forward with us. If you are unwilling to move forward, then I'd like you to see me after this so we talk about how we part in a friendly way. If you're unwilling to change and you don't come see me, you will be invited to leave. Well, most of the employees in the room who'd been resisting got the message and understood they needed to let go and move forward, and they were able to. Several weren't, and they quit. A few others weren't, and they lacked the courage to put it out there, so they were fired. And a few that had resisted with a little bit of coaching got it and stepped forward. The courage to let go is absolutely essential. It's letting go of the old baggage, the old burdens in our life so that we can be available to life now. I worked with an executive once who was holding on to resentment of his old marriage for 10 years. The marriage that had failed, he was holding on to it. It was getting in the way of him being able to relate to anybody else. And it wasn't until he put down the baggage and he had the courage to let go of his old resentments, his old anger, his old fears, that he was able to really move forward with grace in his life. May you have the courage to let go so that you can move forward with as much lightheartedness and as much power as possible in this lifetime.